And then we're going to do a process, and you're going to like this process a lot better. And once we get enough pain, our brain says, I've had it. This change is a must. Then we're going to turn around and we're going to create tons of pleasure. We're going to create the body you deserve. And we're going to have you get associated how you're going to feel by making these changes so that you start feeling incredible levels of pleasure, because nobody just wants pain. Does it sound like it makes sense? Now, to do this, again, it takes courage. It takes a willingness to be like a kid and really have some imagination. It takes a willingness to let yourself feel bad deliberately for a short period of time. Not just allow yourself to feel bad, but make yourself feel bad, knowing that if you really do a good job, you'll never have to feel bad again because there'll be nothing to feel bad about, because you'll have made the changes necessary. Are you willing to do it? Okay, if you are, and you're in your car, pull over. Right now, now's the time. It's a moment of destiny. If you're listening on a couch, get your fanny up and stand up during this process, because sitting on your butt is how you got in this position in the first place, right? Okay, now, I'm getting a little crazy here. Stand up. And if you're in the car, pull over. Okay? All right, stop the tape and go to the next off-ramp. Find yourself a place where you can stand up and you can go through this process. And we're going to need about probably 10 minutes to do this process. Maybe a little more. Maybe a little less. Who knows? Pull over quick. Ready? Have you got to that point yet? Are you ready? You standing up? Good. Now, here's what we're going to do. What I want you to do is two things. First thing I want you to do, so we got a target, just close your eyes for a second. Again, I'm assuming you're not driving. Do not close your eyes if you're driving. Here's what I want you to do. I want you now to imagine the body you deserve. No, not the person you're pursuing. The best way to attract the person of your dreams is to become that person physically. Like attracts like. And if you're already in a relationship with somebody, the best way to help them to change their behavior is become better yourself. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Instead of trying to make them get better physically, work on getting yourself better. All of a sudden, you may just inspire somebody by your example. So close your eyes and think about the body you deserve. Think about what your body would be like. What would you look like when you looked in the mirror? And let's look at it a little step at a time. Check out whatever parts of your body that currently don't look quite the way you want them to look, or don't feel the way you want them to feel, and see it the way it would be if it was ideal. You maybe look at your whole body from a glance from a distance, and just the minute you see your whole body in the mirror, see it the way you deserve it to be, just instantly, like wham, look at the way it really deserves to be. See how you'd stand. See what your posture would be like if you were really absolutely healthy and vital and alive. Look at the expression on your face. Is there a big smile there? What do you look like? How much energy is coming out of you? That's it. Look at your arms, your shoulders, your face. Look at your chest. Yes, you could do this naked so that you look really good and you see all the details, not hidden under some excess clothes. That's it. Good. And take a look at your buttocks, your legs. Just look at your entire form and look at any part of your body and really get it. So if you need to sculpt it, change it, go ahead and change it. Keep refining it because you want a vivid, clear idea of what the body you deserve would look like, what it would feel like, what you could do with that body. What would you enjoy if you were in that body right now? What would you enjoy doing? Who would you enjoy doing things with? How would you breathe differently? What are some things that you would do absolutely differently if you had that kind of vitality, that kind of energy, that kind of feeling in your body all the time and that was natural? What kind of person, how would you feel about yourself if you were this body and somebody offered you that chocolate death, using a metaphor, or something else you knew just didn't belong in that body? If you were already the person that you really want to be, that really inside you know you are, how would you respond to that? Would that even tempt you? Or what would you be interested in more than food? Think about it. What would interest you a lot more than food if you were in that body? What would be your most pleasurable experience in that body? Would it be eating in that body? What would you think would be most pleasurable for you to do, to create, to pursue, to experience? What kind of things would you say to yourself? How would you feel? Would you wake up differently in the morning? Would you approach your day differently? Would you approach other people differently? Would you have a different level of confidence when you walked into a room? If somebody said, hey, let's go to the beach, how would you feel about slamming on your swim trunks or swimsuit and hitting the beach? If when you walk by, other people turn and look because they could just feel your energy, they could feel your vitality, they could see the vibrancy coming out of you, how would that make you feel? Is this something that's compelling to you? How would it make you feel to see your children seeing you being this way? If they saw you like this as an example, I wonder what that would do to their behavior if you've got kids. Interesting. So having this image, and we're going to come back to this image, we want you to keep enhancing this image. If every single day all you did was continue to focus on this, remember the story I told you about racing school? You keep focusing on this, and guess what? If every day you just take 4 or 5 minutes and you focus on this and you step in this body and feel like it's you, pretty soon your brain gets accustomed. It'll start moving in this. Unconsciously you'll move in this direction. Unconsciously you'll know that all of your behaviors need to lead you in this direction. You'll start to shape your behavior. Now, knowing what we're doing it for, let's be willing to look at the opposite. Let's be willing to look at what continuous abuse would do to your body. Little tiny abuses that maybe you're doing right now that don't seem like very much. What's the price that you pay for those? What's the price you pay in your self-esteem? What's the price you pay emotionally? And I want you to start getting used to that. So try this. Open your eyes for a second. Clear out the good picture. Close your eyes again. And now we're going to start the Dickens process. And again, commit right now to be willing to give yourself some pain. So with your eyes closed, what I want you to do, very simply, is I want you to just for a moment think about how you feel about being overweight, if you're being totally honest with yourself. I want you to look back in that mirror right now, and I want you to see your body as it is right now. Go ahead and look. And look in detail. And don't hold your stomach in. And then, by the way, if you're at home, you might not have to imagine this. You might just go rip off all your clothes and go stand in front of that mirror and play this tape. And by the way, I highly suggest that if you're at home. Now, if you're on the side of the road, I do not suggest this process. That would not be a good thing to do. But if you're at home, this is excellent. In fact, stop the tape right now and go take off your clothes. Well, this will be really an intimate conversation, I'll tell you what. You really know I'm your coach then. Come on, take off your clothes. Come on, stop the tape. Stop the tape. If you're home, there's no excuse for this. I want to get you this to be this really real. By the way, this is what I did to myself years ago. Only I took photographs, which was pretty hard to do, taking photographs of yourself. But I put on the counter and tried to make this thing happen so I'd see what disgusted me. So go ahead and do it right now. Stop the tape. Oh, by the way, if you're on the side of the road, hang in there. You can continue to listen. Here we go. All right, you got your clothes off? Boy, I never thought I'd be in a relationship with you like this. I'll tell you what. Now, take a look at that mirror. And what I want you to do is let's start with a side view. That's right, nice side view. And do not pull your stomach in. In fact, if anything, extend it out and make it even worse. Make it the way it would be if you were to continue abusing your system. Go ahead right now and take a good look at your stomach. Go ahead. And that cute little word you call love handles for big globules of fat on the side of your body, take a good look at those too. Reach down and grab some of that excess skin right now and pull it out as far as you can. That's it. Come on, squeeze, and just see how much you can get your hands on. That's it. Squeeze it. Just look down at that and think about how disgusting that is. Think about that. That is just pure fat. Not only does this fat not make you look good, but this fat's got to get out of your system one day or another. Or sooner or later, this fat is going to be part of what clogs your system. You cannot have a lifestyle with this in your system. Just take a look at it. How does it make you feel? Stick your stomach out and look at it. Turn around and look at your rear. Is it pronounced? Come on, take a good look. If that doesn't disgust you, what will? Look at your legs. You go, oh, my legs are okay. All right, well. Or you say, well, they're not so great. What is it? Take a real good look. I'm trying to tease you about this, but I want you to look, and what I'm going to stop doing is teasing you, and I want you to really get disgusted. Now, you know how to get disgusted. You've done it before. But this time, get it more intense. Just think to yourself, what would you say to yourself? What did you say to yourself when you stopped smoking, for example? Or whatever those situations were before where you absolutely got to the point where you had to make a change in something? What did you say to yourself in those days? Did you say, this must change? Did you say, I have had it? Never again. What did you say to yourself in those other situations? Say the same things to yourself right now as you grab onto some of this excess fat. Grab a hold of it. Notice what it's like. Is there any excess fat around your neck? Around your face? How about your chest? Is it sagging? Is it firm? Is it muscular? What do you look like, really? How do you feel about yourself when you look at this body? Does it inspire you? Or does it make you feel frustrated? Does it make you feel like you have a lack of self-esteem? Does it make you feel angry? Be honest with yourself. Don't disassociate from the feelings. How do you think your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, as they now say, significant other, feels when they look at that body? Do you think it just inspires them like crazy? Or do you think that there are other people that walk by who they look at and think, now that's the body I deserve? How does it make you feel to think that maybe they're more attracted to other people's bodies other than your own? Not a pleasant thought. But you think it's possible? How does that make you feel? How does it feel to know that you're not living by a standard you could easily create if all you did was commit yourself. Make it something that you've decided, I have had it. And then, you know what? That's pain in the present. Close your eyes, if you haven't already. Wherever you are, even if you're standing there naked in front of the mirror. And by the way, if you're on the side of the road now, you'd have to have imagined this, right? You have to imagine looking in the mirror. You have to imagine seeing these things. Imagine it and feel the feelings just the same. Remember, your brain can't tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something you actually experience. So if you were at home and didn't take off your clothes and you weren't that committed, I encourage you to really go do it and play the tape back. But if you're not at home, imagine it in detail. But now with your eyes closed, let's go a step further. I want you to do two things. First, real quickly, have you ever been heavier than you are now? Because if you have, that's one reason why you might not change. You haven't hit threshold yet. You know what I'm talking about? That point where your brain says, I've had it, this is too much pain. So if you've already had a standard that was worse than where you are now, maybe it's time for you to remember that. If there was ever a time you had even more weight on your body, go back and imagine that. Imagine standing in front of the mirror naked and look at your body at that level, the way you were in the past, and it's even worse. Think about that time when you were in worse shape than you are now. You may say there's never been a worse time than now. In that case, then look at yourself again in the mirror and ask yourself this question. How did that make me feel to know that I was not taking care of my body? How did that make me feel about myself? What was my energy like in that body? The body I did not deserve. What was my level of vitality like? Did I jump out of bed, spring out of bed, go for my goals, make things happen? Or I barely drag myself out of bed? Did I feel tired? Did I feel emotional more often? Kind of down? It's amazing what happens to us that we don't even realize is happening to us when we're overweight. Because it affects not only our thought process, it affects our emotions. What did other people say to you? Did anybody make any comments? Did people look at you? How did you feel when you had to go to certain places where your body was going to be exposed more? Maybe in a certain outfit you had to wear. Maybe again on the beach or in some environment like it. How did that feel to be overweight and to know it? How did it feel to feel like you're less than you really deserve to be? What did you say to yourself back then? What did you say to yourself when you looked in the mirror and you saw that? What were the excuses you tried to give yourself back then? Why it was okay? Why it wasn't that bad? Think about how disgusting that was. Or think about how disgusting it is. Get it so your brain says, absolutely no way. This has got to change. It's going to change now. I don't care what it takes. Get yourself to that level of commitment where the past and the present are both painful. Or at least the present is so painful you got to feel like you got to change. And let's go to the third step. Let's look at the future. I want you to imagine right now overeating, failing to exercise, and just take whatever patterns you've got right now that you know don't work, that you justify, drinking, smoking, whatever it is that you're doing right now that you know is not giving you the body you deserve, anything that's keeping you stuck where you are or moving in the wrong direction. I want you to imagine just for a moment continuing down the path you've been going, where you've been gaining weight, where you're becoming older, where you feel maybe heavier, where your energy is less, and just to let the process accelerate like a snowball. And I want you to drag with you all of the weight and all the combined weight that you're going to gain over the next 5 years if you don't make a change. Again, if you do nothing, you don't even exercise, even if you didn't gain a pound, you're gaining fat. Lots of people weigh the same as they did 10 years ago, but you know what? It's not the same body, is it? You can look at them and tell. They used to have muscle. Guess what? They weigh more now. They weigh more in terms of fat because fat is lighter than muscle. So let's say you weighed 180 pounds. And 10 years later you weigh 180 pounds. But you know what? You may be in a lot worse shape because of those 180 pounds, a much larger percentage of that is now made up of fat. Take a look at your body and imagine just gaining fat for 5 more years, not changing. Feel the feelings of lethargy. Feel the feelings that you feel when you look at yourself in the mirror getting worse. And arrive 5 years from now having lived in a way you know does not work. Eating those specific foods you know don't support you. Eating amounts you know don't support you. Staying sedentary, not really going and exercising consistently, and feel how old you start to feel. Feel how slow your body begins to feel. And then get to a mirror 5 years from now and look in the mirror 5 years from now what your body looks like by continuously abusing it. Take a good look. Look at your face. Look at your neck. Look at your body as a whole, your stomach, your chest, your legs, your rear. Look how dumpy you may look or feel. You say, well, gosh, I already felt bad enough. Make it even worse. Just for now. Really feel. Don't just look at it. Feel. How does that make you feel to think about being in that body? Do you feel older or younger? Do you feel more alive or less alive? More vital or less vital? You know the answer. What's happened to you emotionally over those 5 years where you know you continue to make promises to yourself that you break? How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel to not feel like you're in control of your life? By the way, what's happened to your relationships as a result of what you've done with yourself? If you've not taken care of your body, what does that do to your mind, your emotions, your pride? How can you have passion in a relationship when you don't feel good about yourself? What has it done to your relationships? Is there anybody you're no longer in a relationship with just because your self-esteem is so poor? Or has anybody left you? Or have you tried to end it first? Somebody gone for somebody else who they felt was more vital and more alive? Somebody took care of themselves more? Or who did you never develop a relationship with that you wanted to just because you didn't have the confidence or the vitality, the energy? How does that make you feel to miss out on life in this way? To miss out on who you really are? Where's your energy 5 years from now, having gained all this weight, having continued to put this much fat in your system, even if you didn't gain tons of weight, having this much fat in there, having lost the vitality? If you have kids by this point, do you think your kids have modeled you? What if they start to gain some weight? So often we hear about genetics, but once again, genetics plays somewhat a role. A bigger role is that we all tend to model the people we're around. How does it make you feel to see one of your children abusing their bodies, developing the very habits that have imprisoned you? How does it feel to know you're contributing in that area if you are? How about at work? You know, do you think there are people that your excess weight and your feelings that go with it are affecting the way you interact with? Do you think there are people that don't know you and will judge you just by the way you look and start thinking you're a person that isn't really committed? Somebody they don't want to spend time with? You might say, well, I don't care. If they judge me just by my body, then I don't want to be around them. Well, that's interesting. That's a great defense mechanism for somebody who really isn't proud of themselves inside. Blame somebody else. Get mad at somebody else. The truth is we all judge other people by the standards they hold themselves to. And physical is one of them. Has it kept you from having enough energy to really advance? How about spiritually? How do you feel about the way you've been treating your temple 5 years from now? Do you really feel more or less connected? What's the impact on your entire psyche? When you look in the mirror 5 years from now, and you look at your body, and you feel what you feel like, what do you say to yourself 5 years from now, knowing you could have changed 5 years ago easily just by making some simple changes in what and how you ate and a little bit of movement added to your life, and you didn't do it? What do you say to yourself 5 years from now when you look in the mirror? Say it right now to yourself with the kind of intensity, the kind of feeling that creates the pain that you need to create the shifts. And now, if that doesn't hurt enough, let's go to the next stage. Continue from there to continue to abuse your body, to just give up. Get to the point maybe where your brain says, nothing's going to work anyway, I've tried everything, and drag those problems, drag those negative habits and all the fat that you'll accumulate with them 10 years into the future. Look at yourself 10 years from now. Step in front of the mirror 10 years from now and look at your body. Notice how you feel. Step into your body and feel the way you'd feel 10 years from now with that body the way it would be. Take a look at your face. Take a look at your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your arms, your stomach, your rear, your legs. Notice how you stand. Notice how you feel 10 years of living where you know your principles of vitality. You know that over and over again you're putting things in your body that do not support it, that drag it down, that cause you literally to accumulate toxicity in the system. Are you more sick? How often did you get ill during that time? Sick just because your body's resistance is down because you're not vital. You aren't doing what's necessary. Do you look older? How much older you look 10 years from now if you don't change? If you continue down the track you're going, even made it worse, what do you look like? How do you feel? What's happened to your relationships 10 years from now? Have you given up? And how does that feel? How old do you want to live to be in this body? Yeah. What's happened to your spice? What's happened to your passion for living? What's the level of vitality? And again, if you have kids by this point, look what they look like. What have they done to their bodies by adopting your low standards? How does it feel to be a low-standard person? How does that feel? Knowing inside that you're so much more, and that for more than a decade you've abused yourself. Have you had a heart attack? Have you developed some major disease that's tied to one's diet? 1 out of 3 people in this country get cancer. And according to the National Academy of Sciences, almost 70% of those can be diet-related. Think about it. What's the price 10 years from now? What's the price at work? What's the price in your relationships? What's the spiritual price? What have you done to the temple again? What have you done to your life? When you look in the mirror 10 years from now, having abused your body continuously for 10 years, take a look at your body now. If you thought you were disgusted before, what do you feel like now? What do you say to yourself now when you look in that mirror? Say it right now to yourself. Say it in a way where you can feel it. Say it in a way that gives you enough pain. Enough pain that your brain said, enough, never again. And just to make sure you're committed, don't change. Sure, just keep doing what you're doing, only make it worse. Let it snowball, because that's what things do. Once you start lowering a standard, gradually it happens. Make it happen for 20 years. Go to the mirror 20 years from now, having not made any changes continuously, doing whatever you're doing now, maybe even overeating a bit, maybe eating more foods that you know aren't good, but you've managed to justify for 2 decades. Not exercising the way you need to exercise, not doing what's necessary, and look at yourself 20 years from now. Notice how you feel. Step into the future, drag all of these problems with you 20 years from now. Look in the mirror and feel what your body is like. Take a look. Are you proud? Are you disgusted? Have you just given up? How do you think of yourself when you think of yourself now? What's it done to some of your goals and dreams to have allowed your standards to drop this far? What's it done to your sense of pride? Take a look. Take a good look at your body. Different parts of your body. Look at the bloat. Look at the fat. See if there's cellulite all over the side of your legs. Cottage cheese look of your skin. What's your skin like? Has it become wrinkled before its time? What happened to the smooth, bright, muscular feeling of youth? Are there people, by the way, in their 60s who are muscular and alive? In their 70s? The answer is yes. Are there people who've got skin that looks phenomenal in their 60s? You better believe it. So look at your body and notice how it feels. Do you feel old or young? More alive or less alive? More tired or full of energy? You know the answer. Maybe even your spine feels like it's out of whack. I just wonder how old you really feel. I wonder how much vitality has disappeared. What's happened to your relationships after 20 years? Are you still in them or are they over? Or are those people around you, some of them died also because they didn't take care of themselves? Or did you go first? Are you still alive 20 years from now? Have you had any major sicknesses, illnesses? How much of that could have been related to your diet? The fact your body didn't get the oxygen and vitality it needed. How about your kids 20 years from now? Your career 20 years from now? Look at your body and think about what you've missed out on in life just because you didn't do some simple things 20 years ago. Simple things like moving differently. Simple things like eating a few different foods. This is the price you pay. What have you missed out on in terms of relationships and vitality and passion and being alive and sports and fun and going places and feeling proud and alive? What have you missed out on in your life all because you didn't change these stupid little patterns? Think about it. How does it make you feel? Look at yourself in the mirror and feel how you feel. Say to yourself what you'd say 20 years from now. If you didn't change, what would you say to yourself? Think about it. Feel it. And I hope you got enough pain. Is this painful enough? If you've done it in a very real and vivid way, I can promise you, I don't have to promise you, you know. Your brain says, I've had it. I don't think we need to go to 30 years to get your attention. Just continue to feel those feelings for a second. Don't disassociate. Feel what it would feel like to pay the price of not taking care of your body for several decades. The price in how you'd feel about yourself, how you'd look, the price in your relationships, the price of your health. And the price not only for you, but maybe the people you care about, your children who may be grown at this point, struggling with the same problems that you managed to model for them. Think about how that makes you feel. And here's the good news. With your eyes still closed, this hasn't happened yet. I don't even know what you pictured. I don't know exactly what you said. I just asked you questions. I said, are you healthy? Are you vital? Are you alive? Or are you weak? Are you old? Or are you young? You answered them. But you know what's great? None of this has happened. You can change your entire destiny by some simple new decisions, by deciding to commit yourself to absolutely change. I mean not just a little decision where you make a decision for the moment. I mean a real decision where you cut off any possibility except the thing you're committed to. If you make that kind of decision now, the kind of decision that says, this is not my destiny, physically, emotionally, mentally, you could change it all. So with your eyes still closed, gradually drift back to today, knowing that none of this has happened yet, that these are nothing but the shadows of the future if you don't change. And as you get back to the present, shake your body out. Maybe you got some tightness in your muscles just from the thought process. Shake it out. You can open your eyes now. Shake your body out. Get your body shaken out. Get your body alive. Feel a little bit of energy. Take a few breaths. Feel strong. Feel vital. And what I want you to do is I want you to stop, and I want you to write down, and you might still be naked, okay, if that's true. You can throw on a pair of shorts or something, but sit down in your notebook right now and write down the price you will ultimately pay in your life if you don't make these changes now. Write them all down, and then get back here to the tape. Take 5 minutes and do that right now. And by the way, before you go, see if you're still listening, I caught you. You're supposed to turn this tape off. Don't be listening. But I'm glad you did this case. Make sure you write down the price you pay in each area of your life. You'll see it in your notebook. What's the price you're going to pay physically, emotionally, your sense of pride, your relationships, everything you can remember, and make it vivid. Go for it. Okay, so what have we done so far? Well, we've done an unpleasant process, but an important one. And the important thing about it is you've begun to link consequences, not only to your current behaviors, but consequences to what you've done in the past, and most importantly, consequences to the future. You've linked pain to your past, present, and future. And if you've not done this, you've wasted your time. Go back and make it more vivid and make it more real. I can promise you one thing. The next time you get out of the shower and you go by that mirror, you're going to remember what we talked about and how you felt even imagining it. And maybe you'll start taking a closer look and not just looking, but feeling, the feelings you got to feel when you look at something that you know is not a reflection of your soul. You know is not a reflection of what you stand for. And you may, even right now, want to recover by rewinding this tape and doing it right now. Don't wait. Get so much leverage that you absolutely follow through. Now, when you're absolutely certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that your brain says, I have had it. There is no possibility am I ever allowing myself to be this way again. Then we go to stage 2. So here's what I want you to do. First of all, you got to change your state because we got to get you out of that lousy negative feeling thing. So right now, get up, bounce around the room, do some jumping jacks, take a few deep breaths in, blow it out hard. Really make a major change. If you got a favorite piece of music, stop the tape right now and go listen to that song. And while you're listening to it, just picture your body, the ideal body you deserve, and imagine moving to that music and that body. Do that right now. And if you're in your car, you can still imagine do that. Turn me off for a second. I can't believe I'm telling you to turn me off. Go ahead and turn me off right now for a second and turn on some great music. Now, I can't compare to me, but, try it anyway, and it'll change your state for a little bit. And humility runs real deep here. Go for it. Try it for just a couple of minutes if you would. One song, something you really like that'll make you feel really good. And while you're doing it, imagine dancing, moving, doing whatever you can where your body feels vital, but imagine your ideal body. Picture it, feel like yourself. You're moving to it, enjoy the music. Link those sensations to the body you deserve. Do that now. Well, welcome back. How was your music? How was your image? Compelling. Let's go to the next level. What do we need to do now? We got pain linked to the past, present, and future when we behave the old way. We got to link now major pleasure. How we're going to be now and in the future as we apply what we know to make ourselves vital and to create the body we deserve. So what I want you to do is once again stand nice and tall, stand up, breathing, feeling good, feeling vital. All right, if it's a sunny, beautiful day outside, you might want to take a little tape recorder and go outside and do this. Being outdoors in the fresh air with the sunshine will be fabulous. And if there isn't such a thing going on, it's like nighttime, well, just imagine, okay? Stand nice and tall, breathing, feel vital, feel strong. Stand the way you'd be standing if you feel passionate and alive. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself starting today to make progress. Major progress in your life. How? Because you know you've made a decision, and the decision is that you are absolutely committed to whatever it takes to create the body you deserve, not just for a week or a month or a year, but for the rest of your life. That you're going to be vital and healthy and alive. And notice how it feels just to make that decision today. Notice how you might breathe a little differently if you knew you're really going to live that way. Notice the kind of pride you'll already have when you in your heart of heart know that you've made this decision and there is no turning back. That creates tremendous excitement. There's tremendous energy and enthusiasm and vitality that comes in just making a decision and knowing you're going to really follow through. Now, let's step into the future. Let's imagine that you're going to apply everything you learn in this program. You're going to learn how to move your body so that you have more energy than ever before, and you train your body to be a fat-burning machine. So whatever fat you do take in, your body efficiently eliminates the excess and utilizes what it needs. Because you don't want to be fat-free. Fat-free is on the cover of everything. And you know what? You can't be fat-free or you'd be dead. But you've got to be at the right balance, the right kind of fat, the right amount in your body. So you're muscular, you're alive, you're balanced. Your image should not be one of becoming so thin you're emaciated or you're a twig. I'm talking about being healthy and vital. So I want you to imagine that you apply all the things we're going to talk about in this program, and you really are committed. And then I want you to go out 5 years from now and having lived by these principles of breathing and taking in live foods and eliminating some of the poisons from your life and moving your body in ways that are dynamic and alive. 5 years from now, having done that for 5 straight years, every single day, having developed an identity of a healthy, vital, passionate person, somebody who has a body that's incredible, somebody who's got the emotional intensity that comes with it. Look in the mirror 5 years from now and look at what you look like. Do you look more alive or less alive? You know the answer. Are you more energized or less energized? Do you have more passion for life or less passion for life? You know darn well you got more passion, you're more alive. Do you look older or younger? You may find you look even younger, more vital, more alive. And how does that make you feel to know that you've created this? That you not only created this body, but you turned things around. You took control and you shaped your life. Notice how that feels. What's the level of pride you have when you look at your body now? Take a look at your whole body in that mirror. Take a look at your face. Look at the smile on your face. Look at the energy coming to your eyes. What kinds of things can you do 5 years from now joyfully? What do you love to do 5 years from now because you have so much energy? What have you accomplished in your life because of all the additional energy you've had for 5 straight years? What have you achieved in your work and your home life because you have so much more pride? Whatever you don't use, you lose. And whatever you use gets stronger, becomes more alive. Look at your vitality. Look at your skin. Look at your face. Look how you become younger and more energized. And as you feel stronger, I'm not going to take you any further. Just look at your relationships. Look at your business. Look at your opportunities. Notice the sense of pride. You don't have to worry about breaking down. You're just getting stronger and more alive each day. And by the way, if you consider yourself to be a senior now and you're saying, well, 20 years from now I won't be around, garbage. Think about all those people you've seen what Johnny Carson used to have on. In their 90s, their hundreds, who are strong. They're still out plowing the field, having fun, laughing and giggling and telling stories of their grandkids. Totally alive and vital, not off by themselves alone, sickly in a hospital. Know the choice you have now and feel the joy of knowing your future is assured. Create that certainty in your body. Know that it's there. Like we did earlier, stand and feel it and know it and enjoy it. What do you say to yourself about your life 20 years from now, having lived this way for 2 decades? 2 decades of vitality, energy, and passion. Feel it. Enjoy it. Lock that feeling in. And then guess what? This hasn't happened yet. You get to look forward to this every day. Before you decide this is what you want, maybe we should bring back that old future that you created earlier. That one, where you didn't take care of yourself for 20 years. Maybe you need to decide which one of these you're committed to. Do you need to look at that to decide? I don't think so. So then look at this vitality. Know this is your destiny. And then gradually with your eyes closed, come back gradually today, feeling the excitement of knowing that every day you get to look forward to a more compelling physical body that gives you the energy and joy you deserve so that you can share that with all those you care about, with all those that you love. When you get back today with your eyes still closed, realize that each day, all you're going to do is try to find a way to make yourself a tiny little bit better. We're not talking about losing 30 pounds tomorrow and having a perfect body tomorrow. We're talking about